So a few weeks ago, during the big Neca Donnie's Lab controversy, then people trying to get their money back, and the customer service and the lackluster releases towards the end of the year, I was real down on Neca. But it only takes, it's funny, even in that video, one of the things I mentioned for them to course correct was, announcing new figures that we were into and releasing good quality figures. And this isn't for everyone, but it's one of them quirky things that only NECA can do. And I love it. I also love that, if Super 7 did this, it would probably be $55, so NECA just sticks it to them. And this is a really sound, clever, fun release. Super 7 had it first, though, with reactions, so sometimes these companies flip-flop licenses. NECA will get TMNT, and then Super 7 will. Here we have NECA now doing Sesame Street. Super 7 did it in reaction, so it's very fun to see NECA stick it to Super 7, because I don't hate Super 7, but I hate their pricing. Anyway, I will be wearing gloves because my hands are effed up from work in the winter, getting chewed up, crap falling on them, so I don't want you to have to look at gross shit. Just focus on this fun figure. Let me stop yapping, and let's get to NECA's Sesame Street Wave 1 Ernie. Couldn't find Bert. So, there's that. Take care. I'll be right back. Talk game! Yeah. You and me, baby! Talk game! I can't take it anymore! It's Talk games!
Ernie, do you know that you have a gingerbread man in your ear?
Yeah, I know. Want a bite?
Want a bite? Do I look like I want to taste earwax frosting to you?
Now I get it, this isn't some amazing new Running Man license or the revival of Predator 2 or Predator figures, but it's fun and it's well done. I wish it was a D&D figure, but that line is dropped and it looks like we're getting Sesame Street instead. And if the quality is going to be this good, if it's going to be this fun, so be it. This is Ernie. I really have no complaints. He can't really sit down. I'll go over our articulation. I usually do that with new figures, but first, some things I like. The paint apps. Didn't have to blow dry anything out of the box. The articulation that's there is very smooth. It's a fun little figure. Comes with 2 portraits. I do wish that there was a hinge on one of these heads, but then it would maybe look like an animatronic instead of a Muppet. If you saw little articulation in the jaw poking out. What's here is great. Hair looks great. Captures Ernie perfectly. I mean, it's a Muppet. It wasn't going to be extremely difficult, but, sometimes simple licenses can get messed up. Price point of $35, just right. They did make this in their Tiny Toons line or Toonie Terras, but it's not a Terra if you want an even cheaper Sesame Street figure. Some things that stand out is how dirty his little Chuck Taylors look. I love that. And just the expression, really fun. I love how there's wrinkles and folds in the sculpting, even in this head. I have a close-up here. Wrinkles and folds by the ear. Wrinkles and folds. Ultimately, here's the deal. Them folds in the hands and around the head make him look like a puppet and not a human. It's really something you got to balance there. You don't want to look too human-y, and you want to maintain that puppety look. He comes with 3 sets of hands. Cool little picture of him and his buddy. I guess they're a couple now. I didn't know puppets had dicks, but whatever. I don't give a shit about that. I still love Sesame Street's characters. I can't wait. Big Bird will be awesome. I really want giant-ass Big Bird, which will now bring me to scale. Also, he comes with this C. Very clever. Has the eyes on it and that classic Sesame Street. I imagine The first four figures will spell NECA because Bert comes with an A. Let's see how he scales. This is the major thing here. Is scale, but I think they did the right thing here.
So anyways, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Here he is with another Henson puppet or animatronic or whatever you want to call it. A NECA movie Ninja Turtle, NECA Alf. So I think this is a proper scale. You don't want him to be too tiny. You want this thing to pop on the shelf. I think it's a good scale. That Big Bird, though, is going to be giant if they ever get to that. That's the issue with NECA. Sometimes they just, get disenchanted or don't like the profits, and they'll make 55 million Alfs and stop at 2 Sesame Street characters. But we know the count is coming, so there is that. That's where your mileage is going to vary. How many of these do you need? I'm probably as cool with Bert and Ernie and Big Bird. I don't need, 80 Sesame Street characters on my shelf, but there's a lot of fans out there still of Sesame Street. It's something we all grew up on. It's something that's still on TV to this day. So you never know. Articulation-wise, everything is single-jointed, pretty smooth. The biggest gripe is you don't get a lot of range at this ankle pivot, and he can't sit down. Kind of is what it is. It's nothing great. Well, ideally, what are you going to do with Ernie, though? You're going to have him busting out of windows and, I don't know, maybe I'd want him breakdancing, so that your fun is kind of limited to the articulation and what your imagination would want to do with him. In that photo with the gun, I didn't have that much trouble doing that pose. So articulation is clean and smooth. It's just kind of limited. And I'll just leave it at that. Fun figure, designed well, sculpt is great, paint apps are great, classic NECA stuff here. Just something that isn't for everyone, but NECA has had a great beginning of the year with Beetlejuice, 50th anniversary, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface, the Werewolf in London 2-pack. So the horror stuff is coming. Vincent Price is on shelves now. So to see something fun and charming is just fine. And with that, I want you to take care, have fun, and I'll see you later in the week.
Woo! Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah!